This is if we don't have Rolo with us when we go to the warehouse, so we end up with Beck. And we do cause the mutation on the bully. So we did knock him into the puddle. Then we go all the way to the source, the big hole in the original town that we found in the snowy area. Bully threw the fireworks into the hole. He fell, but he also took Kerr, the hyena man, with him. We have the choice of accept the fact that we need to let go and they just fall, or refuse, see what happens. So we're going to see what happens if we refuse to let him drop.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration.
This feels like it's going to be a very quick, abrupt ending.
You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror. Now, a clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair.
Wait, no, we did this at the end of the stream, didn't we? Because I remember him doing the tousled hair mirror bullshit. I feel like we did this, but it obviously didn't auto-save at the end.
That's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca.
Yeah, because I remember commenting on the founder, because we've had no information up to this point that he isn't the top dog.
Was the defeated look on the end.
Yeah. Yeah, we... Oh, fuck off! No! Oh, I can't back out of this. I've just done it!
Luca had no choice
to
refuse Iggy's request. He tightened a while. That's Iggy. It was.
Clicked too many times and it took me to the same fucking bit.
Clipboard. I'll put in a swarm. And.
Hang on. Right. So we are going all the way. So in this path, we do have Rolo with us. I can't tell because it hasn't got the bit on the left in this bit. When did we weep? I'm pretty sure this is we've got to the hole again, the source. We do have Rolo with us, and Grandma is at the hole with torch in her hand and there's bombs in the hole. Yes. Yes.
And in the stillness, he began.
This is the only other thing we've got, so it's got to do something, or at least give us another word.
After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind.
It's going to do what I think it does.
The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
I'm still convinced that she's not my grandma, she's my mother, and she's been aged by the green goo. This is my mother's tune. We will find out if I'm right.
The torch, listening closely, as recognition slowly set in. Her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Just clocks Rolo in that fucking Sherlock Holmes hat. Forgot he put that on.
Luca lifted
Hey,
his
how long
head
is this,
in
Jesus?
astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
I called this relatively early on. I am fucking smart, I swear. How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me that are my dad and mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly.
I knew this the second that we learnt that he only met his grandmother, this lady, when his mum went missing. Like, she's not missing, that is her. Because we already knew about the aging goo.
He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, Buckaroo. What a fucking nickname, Buckaroo. I know you're a deer, but isn't Buckaroo a horse? Isn't it a horse in Buckaroo? Mom!
Lucas
Yes, she's been here all the time.
Toward his mother.
I mean, I get why she wouldn't tell him up to this point, because how do you explain that you've aged? But, come on.
They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were on. Should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. I've got a fucking cat hair in my nose again. Yep, there it is. You. Which is currently underneath the coffee table behind me. Where there's just like the odd bit of fur that just floats around the room and just gets sucked into my nostril. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realised the danger we were in. There is definitely another freaking bit of fur up there somewhere. Means I'll probably sneeze at some point to dislodge it. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. They don't care who gets hurt in the process. And what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. Okay, I'm gonna have to go blow my nose because this bit of fur that's tickling my nostril is getting on my tits. Back in a second. Won't literally be a minute. Oh, that's better. Jesus. Not something you ever think about being a problem when you get cats. And cat fur up your nose. Oh, right. Oh, are we? I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. With fire? Because, please. Cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone, we've got a party to crash. Oh shit, yeah, the festival. You don't understand. He always wins. Who? Because we know Kerr's not top
Chapter
dog now.
9.
Top hyena.
The devil you know.
This is the furthest we've been. We haven't been to a chapter 9 before. 8's the furthest we've been so far. There's supposedly 11. This is why I don't believe the freaking play times that are listed for the average play times, because apparently it's 7 hours. We are well past that at this point. Like, I know there's a lot of stopping to talk. Stella, hi, how you doing? Thank you for the Prime gift sub. Words, Prime sub. How you doing? 4 months, Jesus. Also, let me put that on my counter before I forget. 1 towards the next chili bean. Oh, damn. No worries, John. Yeah, supposedly there's 11 chapters and it's a 7-hour game, but I think we're on about 10 plus hours at this point. I know there's like stopping to talk, stopping to toilet break, and low cat fur out my nose, but... Huh? Hi, Busy, how you doing?
7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down
Oh, we're gonna learn how she
sterile hallways under
aged.
perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering.
Not just engineering. Deep engineering.
No turning back now.
Is that just because it's underground, or what?
She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory.
Why aren't we writing on page 74? This is a waste of paper.
In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen.
Which is what the freaking thing that keeps freezing the town over when we get the bad endings. Such as if she did throw that torch down into the hole, it would have exploded. Instant freeze on the town.
There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed.
It's supposed to be something like, for the amount of energy it's hit with, it puts back out in coldness. If it gets hit by a massive explosion, it just freezes the entire town instantly. Casually.
Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Oh wait, I need caffeine. There. The only caffeine I've had today was from gum. Like, this stuff is surprisingly effective. Ignore the frickin' Tyson Fury bit. This stuff is actually pretty good. Like, it gives you the caffeine kick you want pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Which I definitely needed today, otherwise I was not streaming. It was either come home and have that to wake me up with a cup of tea and some food, or go back to bed. I almost didn't stream. I almost just went to bed for the day. And that is what change is all about. We still haven't seen what this sign is. We know that there's a couple of the kids that fucked with the sign that's behind them on the top left that's got a sheet over it, over there. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't got to the point where we can actually see them remove that, because we keep fucking it up and getting frozen over. Make the talking noise like the DST characters. DST? My brain's not telling me what DST is. What the fuck's DST? Don't starve, yeah. I heard Animal Crossing noises. Similar. Very similar. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Need to know who his boss is. We've gone all this time thinking that he's the top dog that's causing the problems. And then in the last, like, dead end of the story that we got to, he refers to taking us to, was it the founder, I think he called them? Which, by the wording of the founder, I'm assuming that it, guy who founded the village, Sharper Valentine, who's supposedly dead, but I'm guessing he's not. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me. I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and Perennial Harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. He picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. So for anyone that hasn't been around for that, basically, the town was founded by someone who made some, like, miracle fertilizer. Boon of farmland, basically, in the area. And then something went wrong. Everything died, basically. Like, all the crops started rotting. And the company Perennial Harvest came in, took everyone out of the town, put them into hotels and shit out of the way, fixed everything. And we've been living here for the last, I think it's, I can't remember how long they said it was, 6 years, I think, since the foul harvest, which is when it happened. And it turns out what they actually did was rebuilt a clone of the town and moved us back into that. The original town is the snowy area we were in a minute ago that's frozen over. So this is not actually our town, it's a clone that they built to confuse us, whilst they do whatever the fuck they're doing with the stuff that froze it over and was, I believe, what they were using for the fertilizer. Very strange story, but pretty fucking cool. Man lying? Wild. Hyena. Man lying. Never happened. I mean, you'd think at least one of them would go, this isn't the same place. Like, we didn't go as far to get back home. Or it's in the wrong direction. Or whatever. But apparently not in this world. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
I'm not doing voices. I don't do voices. Deal with it. Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave the town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, also the fact that they did it in a few days, like, bitch, please. No builders work that fast. None of them. Not one. Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You snivelling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see this festival is a sham? An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn, who is not an old lady.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the Dickens? Fucking hell. We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. He's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. Two-timing? There's more going on than I'm aware of. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It's just easier to look the other way. Truth is... What are we clapping at? Gaslighting a woman. Never happened. It is very that, isn't it? It is very that. That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Wait, I've just thought. Okay, so we've got the goo that ages you, which is why Grandma is not Grandma, it's actually Mom. Is the little shit who just interrupted, the one who's currently under the festival sign, is that actually Sharper Valentine? So story-wise, Sharper Valentine is supposedly dead. His family have inherited the town. And supposedly part of the will, one of the like stipulations in the daughter getting the money was that they had to they had to adopt some fucking orphan. And that is the orphan. That's him, isn't it? They've reversed it and he's now younger than he was. Calling it, that is Sharper Valentine. Calling it, they've now got fucking youth serum as well as age serum, whatever. Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. The ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong, which also means he's probably the founder. Hyena's boss. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir? It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. Take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You've done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Family, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
And that's the green goo, so it's going to age him back into Sharper Valentine.
A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's
do
lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His
Fucking knew
body
it.
and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Oh, fuck.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No! The shock. So you didn't see that coming? Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. No comment. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. Wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Apart from the guy who's fast asleep down here. And he's been asleep the entire game. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Wait, did we not get the kids fucking up with the signs in this path? Because if not, one of the other paths isn't finished. Because we never saw the sign that they'd fucked with.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh.
A squawk of a laugh coming from a freaking Doberman man? That's an interesting concept.
Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard! There we go, we've got another word we can use. Hold up, where does malice come in? How can we use malice? I don't remember that path. That's obviously where we're going after this one, when it ends. I'm glad you're back, so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
Excuse me.
What the fuck, Richard?
What? What did I do? Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. People should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. That leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? Gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But silence, Augustus, an adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Heiress, you fail me with admirable consistency. The fact that he called his daughter Heiress, like, come on. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Been wasting my time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... All right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. Think you've said enough. Nonsense, the people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. He is definitely a dick. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Fucking hell. Well, this escalated from just being a little farm town. Jesus Christ. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? You think that puffed up blatherskite, whatever the fuck that means, could have accomplished all of this? What the fuck is a blatherskite? The bat is adorable. I fucking love the bat. Love the bat's design. Some of them are so fucking cute, it's ridiculous. Blatherskite. Person who talks at great length without making much sense. So, anybody in government, got you. Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive. So Dawn the Bat here is the town reporter, I guess, newspaper reporter.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride.
Take offense to that.
He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
Anyone high up in government. That better? You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. These are a lot of words that I've just never fucking heard of. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Aye. Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Of course his name's fucking Montesquieu. Andrew, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It was truly the lifetime of a role. I read it backwards. You can have it backwards. Deal with it. Wait. So this Bill Kerr was Pat C the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears the most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. Choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Love you 12. Calm down. Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on... Keen eye? I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. To be fair, the amount of slip-ups I've made in reading has been very minimal so far. Kids these days. Kids any days. Fucking kids, hate them. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. That's fate for you. Can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do. Oh, fuck off. Given time. And now time is my plaything. Well, basically back to the same issue I had with that episode of Walking Dead of the, I want to be a man, a real man. Like, what does that mean? I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean pointing a gun at people, which is what apparently it means in The Walking Dead. That's the most expensive thing I have ever bought, but well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat, let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties.
Oh, got you. The green goo's gonna age the crops so they grow faster.
Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end.
That run.
This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing.
Oh, trust me, there were worse endings. We've had 3 endings where the entire town got froze over, like permafrost kind of level of froze over. Like instant 10-mile wide freeze.
Let's see.
Right, so we had this one. Oh yeah, so in this path, if I use the other word, Mr. Nuncreed realizes we know what they've been doing. He shoves me into the phone booth, which takes me to the underground thing. That's the end. Like, we are imprisoned. That's the end. Like, something different happens here.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I think it's the horrible fucking tank top he's wearing. That's enough reason to get out of there. Just want this to all be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rolo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Oh, this is back when Rolo was missing and we're looking for him still, isn't it? Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. Yeah, no, see ya. The treehouse. Now I don't trust it. I don't even want to go talk to Solomon. Lying bastard. Oh, that guy's pretty creepy. He's got a thing for Grandma, who turns out to be my mother. So, like, got a thing for her. So this lady just sits and reads her book here, and we just get like a snippet of it and her reaction to it every time we talk to her. She never actually talks to us. She's just talking to the book. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mama always told me my problems would look smaller once I grew up. But my problems always seem to grow right along with me. And I sense big trouble ahead. That one's a bit less interesting. See, now we know you're not Solomon. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. Worse than sad, it's boring. You're a lying dog, man! What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It'll be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Wait, so in this path, they fuck with the sign, but it's his sign? I don't... You're asleep. Oh. So we also have two things where we have a flashback to fishing with the dad, who I'm guessing is actually dead then, because we haven't encountered him in any scenario yet. And we have a flashback to working at the diner with Mom. And we're supposed to be able to go back to it to use different words to get different information out of it. Haven't been able to go back to the diner yet, because it's always fucking closed. We should be able to go check the fishing and see if there's any more stuff we can do there. I haven't been able to so far. Oh. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modwill. I work here now. I'm unable to locate you on our staff roll. I won't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. You follow? Whoa! You could get a wrench to the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's junking, Sonny. Get it? You're going through the bins, but while he is junking... Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be junking? I might as well ask the same thing of you. Find anything good? Ever since Perennial Harvest moved in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I'd better get going. I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing. See what? Exactly. We taught a sleeping man. Yeah, so this guy basically, the first time we talked to him, he complains that this building didn't used to be here. When we get to the original town in the frozen place, he's correct. There's no building here. He's complaining that they blocked his view. We keep asking him to move and look a different bloody way, and he's adamant, nope, this is my fucking spot. And apparently the company keeps dumping shit in front of him. So all of this stuff here is just company crap that they've just dropped in front of him to annoy him. Right, can we do anything more with fishing flashback? So currently we've fished up a boot, stopwatch, pocket watch, words, whatever. A crinkled note, a message in a bottle, a rubber duck, and a key to something. We do have a new word.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line.
I'm sorry, we're going to
If
fish
all
with a
you
bent
had was
nail.
a hammer.
Fuck. Excuse me. We're going to fish up this time. Photo? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Right, Nuncreed's our uncle? Actual uncle or just like friend of the family uncle? Because if his actual uncle, how do these animals work? Because he's a very different animal to my entire family. Ah, look at those two young fools. How'd it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. Is there a different Joseph? How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. It is the same one. What's the new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. What we can do there for now. Hello. Hi, Jetson. Have you seen Rolo come this way by any chance? Afraid not. Bleh. I went to say exclusive twice. Like, come on, learn to read, bitch. As elusive as the fish in this here pond. Rolo, you little bitch, are you in our base? Nope.
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're
Luca
okay.
felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace.
We could be waiting for a while.
Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse.
Every time that he's gone to sleep and it's described the dream he's having, it's disturbing. But weird as fuck.
This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together."
Well, if that's not a hint about what the source does, I don't know what is.
Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. "Wait? For what?" Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward.
Yeah, there seems to be a doppelganger in every single dream he has as well.
"That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone." "Does that make sense?" Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo." Luca was startled
Hello?
from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Avon calling. Are you in
A
there?
commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open.
Who the fuck barged in?
Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight.
Significant weight.
Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
That makes sense. So in this path, Rolo, our best friend, who is supposed to be our age, went missing in the woods after we discovered what was going on at the dodgy shit was happening at the warehouse. We've somewhat learnt about the aging goo. And everyone's out looking for Rolo because he's disappeared. That's because he's fucking aged. Stop right there. Or I'll... Niche, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognise me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it really is you, prove it. Blaming chicken coop, Luca. weird reference that it seems to be their thing of it's definitely us. Something to do with one of them set off a firework in a chicken coop by mistake. Turns out it wasn't either of them, it was the bully Iggy that did it.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo.
Well, the fact that he's a massive ginger cat man, and Rollo was a little ginger cat man. What?
Only bigger, older, changed.
What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. Oh, hiccup. What? Where did they take you? I don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look.
Rollo proudly
More than your
presented his
hands, love.
to Luca.
More than your hands. Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower. But beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet too? Dang, Pa just made me new shoes. You're wearing shoes. If your feet have grown, where'd you get the shoes from? And the clothes for that matter. Like, surely you've realised. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
This poor sweet baby. He is a little bit naive. He's a little bit naive. What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Fuck. Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like licorice. Where's the not too bad? You drank something that tasted like licorice, just grim, and it did this to you. That's not a good thing. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. You smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're going to fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! It depends, like, have you actually aged, or has your body just grown? Because if your body's just grown and it's still technically 12 years old, then it could be pretty cool. Because you'll continue to grow and be fucking gigantic. But if you've aged, then you've just got a shorter life, and that's not cool. Or shorter potential life, anyway. Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. My grandmother/mother. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger? Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey, fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah! Take cover! Did I come at a bad time? Oh, this is the path where I flicked. We got the green goo was flicked onto her head. Hence the blue. Just dyed the grey hair. It was grey because the fur on her forehead aged. Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? Oh shit, yeah, so in this one, he hasn't met her yet because we met her while he was missing. This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. You're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? Ah, no, this is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Sorry, you're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse. Think you mean our silly little mission control? I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. and I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rolo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened.
She
Yeah,
shot
but-
a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rolo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay. So it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try and salvage my greying old hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mum gave me. Sorry? Okay, just need to play it cool. Hope no one notices. Rolo was force-fed the goo. He was kidnapped by the people in the warehouse in this path, and he was force-fed the goo, and then broke out and got back to the treehouse. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. It's gonna take forever to grow out. You were the one who said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight. Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep, not incorrect. There. He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. People are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
No moving is hard. That doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. And if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair
She
more,
flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think about how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night. Jesus Christ. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. Sorry you got in trouble. My fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Ready? I'd at least go with like a pinky purple to match your ears, but or a green to match your eyes. Blue? Great, can we get back to the story now? This next part is the important bit. I had this radio I upgraded with my mom and I was too angry to sleep, so I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr. Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering, which is Beck's other mother? Nellie Modewell seems to be integrating nicely. This very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. He offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. You have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor? Deep engineering? What a name, literally. I'm guessing the predecessor is either my mother or my father. I know he was a doctor, and I'm pretty sure she's in a similar vein, so maybe it's replacing my dad's work. Her work must be complete before the festival, which is the day after. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. It's tomorrow! Good, you know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. When she's finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir. I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We're in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott. Who the fuck's Prescott? My dad wasn't called Prescott, he was Van Horn. Do we know a Prescott? I feel like I should, but I don't. I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, Miss... I went to say, of course, Mr. Sir. Ugh. Words are hard. Reading's hard, words are hard, speaking's hard. Deal with it. No loose ends, though. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to Perennial Harvest. She won't leave at all. Perfect. Though if I might suggest, maybe we should delay, just for a bit. Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline. And rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Fucking hell. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. I swear this night was just before, like the day before the festival, not days before. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they say loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone. Capital murder.
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. As far as we know, Kerr is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. No, it's the little shitbag dog that walks around with him. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we have an even topper banana on the field. Fucking hell. What the hell is my mum caught up in? Has she talked much about the job? I know that was said, written differently. Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. I love how these are all supposed to be 12 years old. Like, they're very calm about this. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her until then. No worries, John. So she's not coming out. We've got to go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
I could do with a quick toilet break before this gets any more interesting, because Jesus Christ, what is going on? I'm going to pop for a quick toilet break and also make another cup of tea, because I have finished my tea. And yet again, I can feel my throat going, you're talking too much. I would love to know what it is about reading and talking that my throat hates, when I can witter away for hours on end without reading. It's not a problem. Really annoying, like really annoying, because I would like to finish this game, but every time we try and play it, I can only manage a couple hours at best before my throat just goes, nope, not happening. I can already feel it starting. So I'm going to go get another cup of tea, because that helps a little bit. And also pop for a quick wee break. I won't be too long. I'll leave you with some music while I'm gone. It will finish the song that was on before. Back in a minute, I won't be long. Alright, where were we? Ba-ba. Oh. Right, now to give it about 10 minutes before the cats start fighting because the older cat just came back in. Clave, how you doing? She's already being annoying to him. Right.
You can't hide forever!
Stopped annoying him to just sit and stare at me. Like, what? What did I do? What do you mean you just woke up? Lazy fucker. I know it's day of rest, but get out of bed, bitch. Right. Where were we? Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor. Maybe this will help. You have blueprints? Sorry? It's really just a welcome mat from my mum's PH orientation day. Perennial harvest orientation day. What do you mean still 11:50? Get out of bed. I mean, I assume you are at this point, but that's a line and a half. I say like I haven't woke up at like 2-3 p.m. almost every day for the last year up until like a month and a half ago. Not the point. And it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realise what this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
Excuse me. I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6.
Guy is way too excitable. Where? Oh, Jesus Christ. I have a feeling that's the only quote of George's. Hang on. Are there any other quotes of George's? Yeah, that's literally the only quote of George's. Or that mentions George. Oh, I haven't had a random quote for a while. Stick your substitute right up your rocky arse. Pokemon. It was Pokemon. Don't even need to question what game that was.
The heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat, a modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work.
Oh yeah, I've only just clocked at the doors. Our door.
The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in one day, and they each had their assignments.
Alright, quick recap. Rollo, you're going to talk to Roxy. Cordially. Without her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me? Cordial is my middle name. Uh-huh. How do you plan to explain
He
your
waved
new
vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
circumstance? She'll be so happy I'm alive she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Alona will won't just shoot the whole thing down when she hears it? Yeah, Alona's the other mother. One that's not locked at work. He'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay, that leaves me with Jeff and Iggy. How are you going to persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence.
I'm going to assume that one of the frickin' persuasions is the next branching part of the story. About to pick a word. Well, Godspeed. We're going for Jeff, the old guy who was, what was it, junking at the bins, and Iggy, the bully. Jeff's usually... These areas. Undaunted, he shook his head. Over? No. Endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. And he really pulled through. I want to know whether she's still reading the same book or if she keeps reading a different book every time we encounter her. It's fucking weird if it's the same book. I am bottom, Zedon. Yeah. No one has ever questioned it, let's be honest. No one has ever questioned whether Zedon is the bottom. Where the fuck is everyone? Hello? Oh, there's Jeff. What can I do you for? Well, I know how much you hate perennial harvest. Hate's a strong word. Oh, sorry, I mean, I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So we're going to break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
You see, I knew you kids were alright. Great, so you'll
The
help?
joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Fuck off. Junk. Yeah, what of it? Funny I've got more junk than a king has copper. Ain't interested.
Luca wasn't ready. He shouted out again.
Crooked. They're all crooks. Like cockroaches. Camp one out and another comes scurrying along to take its place. Hide.
Jeff's brow perked up.
What you say? Go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not
Jeff's
afraid.
scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff, and they all do, but you'll never hear them say, I hid from nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I've got just the thing. And while we're at it, that crate should come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gobs should cover it. Put it on my tab.
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal.
Sorry, you have a tab at a sweet shop.
With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Sweet shops do that, asking for a friend. Like, can I have a tab? I would never fucking leave the sweet shop. I certainly wouldn't have teeth by the time I left anyway. The good old days. Swing by first thing in the morning. There's literally like two sweet shops in my town centre. I would love to have a tab. Click. There you go. Hey Tish, look who it is. Luca, are you here to try and tickle us to death again? Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
One in the mall I go to, they have alcohol-flavoured gummy bears. Ooh. Imagine they're either really fucking good or absolutely disgusting, but no in between. Like alcohol jellies. Alcohol jellies are either really good or fucking terrible. Hi, Beal. How you doing? Depends on the flavour, yeah. Like, I could imagine... Like, a vodka one would be fine, because vodka doesn't really taste of anything. It just tastes like the gummy bear with a slight kick. But, like, tequila would be grim. Rum might be alright. Champagne would work. Like, I fucking hate champagne, but it's more the bubbles than the flavour. Champagne flavoured things, different matter entirely. That'd be great. Rum and Coke gummy. Ooh. Ooh. Wouldn't mind a rum and Coke one. Gin and tonic. I've had gin and tonic sweets. They're not good. At least not the ones I've had. Mixed drink ones, not straight ones. Okay. Mai Tai. Ooh. Oh, champagne and champagne flavours. Champagne flavour, yes. Champagne, no. Anything that's that fizzy, that bubbly. No, thank you. Good. What about all of you? I'm doing good. We had an interesting time on the episode 2 of The Walking Dead. And we have confirmed on this that Grandma is Mom. Last branch that ended that we've just done. Confirmed that Grandma is indeed Mom. She's been aged by their freaking bullshit. We also learned who the founder is, who runs the Perennial Harvest behind the scenes, because it's not Kerr. It is Solomon, the little Doberman kid. It's actually Sharper Valentine. He's just been aged backwards. There's some right shit going on in this town, I swear. Some right shit. I think he gave a reluctant shrug. You're not wrong. Lately, life has been kinda hard, you know? Hard? Well, yeah, life's always hard. Get over it. We ain't interested. So, I'm gonna kick you in the tits.
Iggy and He tried again.
I know we've both been giant bags of shit.
Iggy gave a reluctant.
Life's been kinda strange, you know?
Considered the point.
What the fuck are you doing with your mouth? That could have been pretty much any game, I swear. That's 408. That's really old. Hang on. I still have my list of thingies open. Yes. What's it near? What are we up to now on quotes? 1056. What was it? 408. Look out, so if I go 2 back and 2 forwards, we've got give it a good tug, blasted by your own fucking cannon, and that. You could see the hole, and it's as wide as it can go. It's also not long after I popped its arse sack, which I think might have been Horizon. Possibly Horizon? Possibly Horizon? I don't know what was on Horizon that did dodgy things with the mouth, but I don't know. Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we break our hostilities, at least for now? We do like breaking things, even if a truce means less breaking things. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luca Van Horn, I'm impressed. And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out at the treehouse sometime.
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
I'm still saying he is me. Did you hear that,
Iggy
Tish?
gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A single
treehouse.
tear ran down Tish's cheek.
Never expected this day to come. How wonderful. I love how they both want to hang out with them.
Chapter
They both
7.
really want to hang out with them. But they bully them instead. Like, I wouldn't do that. If I wanted to hang out with someone, I'd be nice to them, to a degree. But the way that he talks and the way that he responds to people is very me. Very me. Went a goat, deer, or some odd animal thing. I would like to think I'd be a nice animal. Like a cat or a fox or a... I don't know. something, but realistically, let's be honest, I'd probably be a slug. The world would probably give me a slug. Bullies never make sense. Sometimes there is that. People are indeed weird.
Into the hive.
Hive?
A good heist requires preparation.
The Hive? Is this fucking Resident Evil? Isn't that what the underground lab's called in the films?
And thorough preparation takes time, something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. We are locked and loaded on my end. And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention.
Excuse me.
Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence.
Probably end up as one of those healthborns you find in the deepest parts of the ocean. An anglerfish. Or worse, because there's definitely worse, but that kind of going in that direction.
Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out
Will
his
you
arms.
calm down? Hold up. Right. So we've got Cat 1, Cat 2. Cat 2 is being deliberately annoying to Cat 1. And Cat 1 is just growling at her, like, get the fuck off me. But you can't quite see, because the TV's there, is the Cat 1's tail is flicking very rapidly. Out of annoyance. Will you two calm down? Jesus. Bloody Jesus. Cat 1 and Cat 2, yeah. What's in the Goblin Shark? They're freaking disturbing. They are disturbing. Won't convince Nitro to get me a cat. I want one so bad. Just only ever get one. Don't get two. It's not worth the fucking pain and hassle, is it? I don't even know where one of them's gone. Oh, there you are. Hello. One is enough. That's all I'm saying. Two or more, and you start having problems. Well, if you get two, if you get two similar, if you're going to get two same gender, boy and girl is a problem. Get them at the same time, similar ages. We had Flip for like 9 months plus when we got Willow. A bit of an age gap. Just, yeah. He's got to the point where he's not interested in fucking around anymore, and she's just constant annoyance. To adopt opposite sexes since we got them from the same place at fair. These two are just a nightmare. Or it's just we were unlucky and their personalities just do not mash. They do not mash very well. Like, he's chill as fuck. He is not interested in fucking around or playing or fighting. He just wants to eat, sleep, go and have a stroll somewhere outside. Whereas she just wants to run up walls, scratch the shit out of everything. This desk chair, it's faux leather. There are about 7 patches where the faux leather has been peeled off because she scratched it and then peeled it off. Not the only thing she's torn to shreds either. There's about 7 patches of wall where he started it when he was a kitten, when he was little. And he's like, some of the paint's peeled a bit and he's just pulled at the paint. And then, so he caused like gaps like that where there's no paint. By the time that we could have started repainting when it got to last summer, Tom went and got another fucking cat. Wasn't anything to do with me, just saying. I always say he's my cat, she's his. Wasn't my choice. Those little gaps of paint are now about that big. Because she loves peeling the paint off the walls. But she's also going to the vets tomorrow for the lovely thing that happens to cats around their 9-month to a year old time. So hopefully she'll calm the fuck down soon. Hopefully. Some rule the place I adopted them from had. Interesting. Place my ex I adopted them from had rules like if you adopted kittens, you had to adopt two. They had to be opposite sexes. Honestly wound up good because they adapt to other cats well. Adopting multiple, I understand. Making sure they're opposite sexes is an interesting rule to have, but fair enough. There's an eyeless squid that drapes its 25-meter-long tentacles to the ocean floor. It thinks it's felt a crab, it hoists it up to its body and devours it. Well, that's terrifying. 25-meter-long tentacle. Hold the fuck up. Just because feet works better in my head. What is meters to feet? Meters to feet. 25 meter. 82 feet. So like 10 times the height of this room. Fuck me. That's massive. That's a little bit massive. Right. What? Is that supposed to be a freaking costume of Jeff? Seeing as we've got the freaking tool belt. But he's old. We're not. And he's got white hair. We are ginger. 25 meters and scientists have only found babies. What you're telling me is Cthulhu is real. Right. Stay calm, Rolo. You can do this. Will you two stop it? Stop growling. Hello. Are you coming up? He was coming up and then I had to move the chair to let him get up and he shit himself. No worries, John. Thank you for popping in. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. Typical cat behavior. Oh, he's like every stereotype of a cat. Apart from like the destructive ones. Like he's the kind that will run up to the door, sit right at the door, pressed against the freaking back door, like this door, glaring at you to let him in. But as soon as you get up to go and open the door, he fucks off. Then as soon as you shut the door, he comes back to the door, demanding to come in. You can stand at that door for 20 minutes with the door open. He won't come back to actually come in until you've shut the door at least once. And you have to open the door again to let him in. Hi. Coming up. He's also bloody massive. Did you just growl at me for calling you massive? I'm very sorry, you're not massive. Don't sit on the totem, Jesus Christ. He almost sat on my totem. Which, speaking of, anyone that hasn't been over to see it. He almost sat on this. I would have gutted him if he broke this. Ooh. Need to get like a proper background thing, but we don't really have the space to angle the desk where I can have something in the background for it. But yeah, that was made by... Do you guys know Straker? Straker Things? The DBD, or at least was a DBD streamer. Actually kind of is coming back to DBD streaming. But yeah, that was made by his Mrs. Ivy. Do you think she's got one? She's got another one on her. Pretty sure she's got another totem on her Etsy. Hold on. see. Yes, she does. That one, I think, is slightly different. The skulls are darker. She's done them a little bit differently. They're a bit more textured on the skulls for the new one. Link is horrendous. Yeah, Straker's Mrs. Ivy makes them. It's bloody awesome. It's so fucking well done. It's ridiculous. It's worth. It's not the cheapest thing in the world because it's handcrafted, but it's so worth it. So worth it. The cat was touching my bones. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I don't use hexes. They just get touched constantly. Like cats as well as survivors. One moment. Yeah, at some point there will be like a DVD shelf behind me when I am able to. Probably not even not while we're living here. We'll have to move beforehand. But we've got the Onryo thing that Jord got. So we've got the tape, the Onryo little teddy, and the art. We've got the Trickster U2s. I bought the Dwight U2s that they've just pre-ordered, put out for pre-order. We've got 2 U2s, the Totem, Onryo teddy, Onryo's tape, Onryo art. Just a few things. Just a few things. Fully consider getting the Trapper mask, but I've already got like 3 things that Jord's got. I don't want all of the same things that bloody Jord's got. So, you know. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning. The Dwight one's really cool though. If you haven't seen, like, hang on. So, Dead by Daylight YouTubes. So the first wave of U2s was the Trickster I got, Bung, Huntress, and Wraith, and then they did Dwight, Legion, Trapper, and Meg, which are currently pre-order only. The Dwight is on a hook, which is why I wanted him. So he can sit next to Trapper. But they also did Meg and 2 others. Yeah, I'd have thought they'd have put him in a locker, but you know, I'll take on a hook. Where Dwights belong. On a hook, dying. The only survivor that I think deserves it more is fucking Ace. You know?
He had to think quick.
It's because this goes directly to the founder. It is US based, isn't it, U2s? At least I thought it was. It's US based, I think, because it's dollars. About. That does not tell me. We ship to most regions, blah blah. But yes, they do. I don't know whether they're based in US, but it's done in dollars, so I assume possibly. Canada. Located in Canada. So yes, you can get it. You can get it in the US. Open the link, it showed pounds. Oh yeah, because it was my link. You want the Meg? Meg's quite good. I actually quite like the Meg. I like all of them, to be fair. That's Meg. Who were the killers they just did? Trapper and Legion. Look, my only question is why these specific characters and why the fuck was Trickster in the first wave and not, you know, a Trapper. They did Huntress, Wraith, and Trickster. They did 3 killers and 1 survivor for the first wave. Why was Trapper not the first? Because he's like He's basically the freaking mascot of your game. Why Trickster? And why would you not do Claude? We've had 3 survivors now, and none of them are Claude. I feel like Claude should be up there. I feel like Dwight and Claude should have been the first 2. Because that also like links into what's the freaking dating one? Hooked on You. That was, they used Dwight and Claude for that. More people will know them. He asked that it be kept a secret.
Rollo sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the record. Well, that was easy, and we know who's in the box. A harvest awaits and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Harvest awaits. Yeah, the U2's ones are like decent quality. So I got the Trickster one. The best thing being A, and if it'll abs. They did not need to put abs on this man, but he has abs. And B, so that bit there of his weapon, it's perfect to his feet, so it helps him balance. Like, they actually think about things, unlike fucking Funko Pop, who just go, here's some legs, here's a body, here's a fat head, done. There's not a lot of thought when it comes to Funko Pops. There's a bit of thought involved with the U2s. The Wraith one's really cool, I just don't understand why he's in, like, a cloud. I guess it's supposed to be like his shroud thing, but cloak, it looks like a cloud. The only one that I'm like, yeah, it's not quite. There's something off with that one. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear anything about. Yeah, this is a need to know kind of thing. I'll just check.
He stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. Don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. You could just complete this form.
Rollo interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. Sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
A harvest awaits. Sir? That's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. A harvest awaits! For fuck's sake. Ready to light this candle, Tish? Oh, with the fucking rockets again. Yep. Stuck on this perennial ham fist. Ham fist instead of harvest? What? Excuse me. What was that?
The distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. Got a job to do.
The clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay. Phew, that was close. A harvest awaits. Hey, I figure, when in doubt, stick with the classics. Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do? Yep. Deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck. In case you need some muscle. You got larger, you didn't gain muscle. That's not how it works. Like, actually, how would that even work? Like, if the stuff ages you, how does it know what you would have done between A and B? Like, you could be a complete couch potato, or you could be a gym fucking obsessed piece of shit. So, does it give you muscles? Does it not? What's he asking for a friend? What animal is the white deer thing next to the cursed cat? Deer. It's a deer. I'm assuming reindeer, but deer. We don't entirely know what the dad was. We've seen him with horns, but we haven't seen his face or anything, so I don't know whether he was a reindeer. Mom was a deer. Deer. Another kind of deer. But yeah. I'll head east to the founder's office. You two be safe. I want to follow. That's odd. There's not even any cups for the water. A hallway to nowhere. What's going on here? It's some sort of mind game. Why is this fucking building a maze? Oh.
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
We know he's not Solomon at this point. Luca, what are you doing here? It's a long story. You okay? Long came out a bit cracked then. What the fuck was that?
A veneer of confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Someone, some strange people, grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up, and when they were distracted, I ran. Lying little bastard. Dang. Okay, you should stick with me. I've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
Stumble all over the words. We? Yeah, Rolo and Becca headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't leave just yet, but they'll catch us again. Got to do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? Which most people would probably clock of him. You know the Founder? Are you just making assumptions, or do you know the Founder is a he? Because we don't. And not, I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said... Words! Saw a door that said Founder. Jesus Christ. Just down this way.
Luca
It's not even
happened to
6
notice a
o'clock
plaque
yet.
above
It's
the door.
freaking 25 past 5 and I'm already stumbling over every word. Piss off the Founder. Combines. To be fair, there's no pig characters. I don't... Oh no, the guy sleeping on the chair. I think he's meant to be a pig. Of some sort, whether it's a boar or a pig or something, I don't know. Knocking comes with consequence. Oh, here it is. The one that Solomon just came out of. Here it is. It's pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Luca tried the handle.
Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how we could possibly defeat a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Alright, Mother, Jesus. Don't know what sort of funny business you're up to. I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon. Jesus.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? Good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rolo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Could it concern us that there's a portrait on the wall of Sharper, Ares, and Augustus, and there are 3 darts aimed at Augustus. Clearly, Sharper does not like his son. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked 24601. That number is familiar from a previous run, and I don't know why. Needs you to get us through. Wait, 24601. That was on the medical records in the basement of our dad's. What if someone catches us? Should we get out of here? Sorry, we should get out of here. Fucking hell. Why do I play story games that involve reading? They all need to have voiceover so I don't have to read it. Because then I can't fuck it up. Will you stop grumbling? Jesus. Go lie down on the bed or something. Literally just looking at her and grumbling at her in disgust. Like, can you leave your sister alone for 5 minutes? Not leaving my friend, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets.
I don't remember how we learned that, but that was also the code to get from the phone booth to the underground tunnels.
The screen blinked to life.
Really?
Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Fucking hell. Oh, it's this absurd password Rolo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the founder uses such a basic password. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rolo, I think this should do it. Bingo bango, doors open. Luca, you never fail to impress. What is that slippery lout even doing down here? We have a friend whose mom's in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luca, I think we're close. The next door's marked 13806.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Crap, we've got company. Luca must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this
He
noise.
quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is, 13806, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. No, he wasn't. Oh man, no water cups. Roll up. Move your fat ass. You're probably about 6 times the size, ass, considering he's normally the same size as Luca is, pretty much. Rolo, are you okay? Rolo, come in. He's a bit busy.
Mr.
Oh, not
Kerr
this fucker.
approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rolo, where are you? Excuse me. Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost them. Making our way back to Nellie's office. That's where they came in. I was wondering when the sister was coming in. Okay, Oko? Fucking what? I don't even know what other word I read then. It's usually reading 2 words and saying both at the same time, and I don't know what other word I tried to read then. Okay, you 2 rabble-rousers are coming with us. Nope. Take a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there after them. Okay, I think that works. Roxy and Fitz have got them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rolo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Oh, honey, what did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy I finally used the Young Chemist lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. I need to get you out of here. We? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of a growth spurt? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not
Nellie
possible.
leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding of the enamel on the molars, consistent with Tempus liquamine exposure. That's what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh. Oh no. You told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mum, what the hell is going on at this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempus liquamine. Isn't that literally like liquid time? Hang on. Does that actually just translate to liquid time? According to Google, the direct translation in Latin to English for Tempus liquamine is source time. So liquamine doesn't translate to liquid, it translates to source. Apparently in Latin it would be Tempus liquamine. Liquamine? No, not saying that. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source, infused small amounts of Tempus liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time. But it led to complications. Foul harvest. Perennial harvest came in to clean up the mess, to succeed where Valentine failed. Tempus liquamine. It's rebellious. Rebellious? Yeah, can you be a bit more specific when you talk to someone who was forced to drink it? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself, volatile by its very nature. The more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes. I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempus liquamine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. We definitely can't do a full all the way to the end of stream of this if it's going to take too long, because my throat is giving the fuck up. But you didn't,
Nellie
right?
sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contain obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and... So you're smart enough to fix the mistakes and to notice the mistakes, but you weren't smart enough to realise that if he was smart enough to realise they were mistakes, he did them on purpose. Now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Nah, those clothes were all hand-me-downs anyway. It sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. Exactly. I had considered that possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. I had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we've got to get you out of here. Just, like, now. Like, yesterday. Wait, the vial. Finally solved the chemical equation, allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we've got to hightail it. Luca, we've got Dr. Moodwill. Heading your way now. Roger that, be careful. Alright, everything's on track. What is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when they get here. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. See what else this bad boy has on it. Security system, time card logs, payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
Just you wait. Huh? Nothing. Malice 80 proof whiskey. Which for a whiskey is actually a little on the low side. That's 40% for us. Like, proof is always double the percentage, isn't it? So 40% on a whiskey, they're usually like 42 2 to 5? Let's pick like a random whiskey I know of. A common one. Famous grouse. What are you? That's 40. Oh, whiskey's 40? I'd have thought whiskies would be a bit... Yeah, Red Label Johnny Walker's 40. Omertin's 43. Daniels? That Daniels Rye whiskey is 45. I always thought whiskies were a little on the stronger end of the 40s. Apparently not. They are usually on the low end of 40s. Yeah, pretty much all of them are like 40, 43. That's no excuse for them being so fucking disgusting. Hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly, you're no bother at all.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you suspected. Means there's probably something hidden on the desk that's going to be hilarious that it's just left out in the open. Looks like the founder was helping Kerr plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. You must have been in here recently. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. But I feel bad either way. I'm gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it. Locked. That was close. When we left Nellie's... What? When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Before we start tossing blame around, it is possible... Sorry, is it possible someone ordered a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Yes, the clipboards. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from the heisting business. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Let me think. Did someone watch the door? Everyone else, huddle up. Oops. Oh, shit. I think this little caper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no! Hush now, child, the adults are speaking. Dr. Modewell, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Radial Harvest, Valentine Fertilizer. All connected by a single thread. Yours truly. But that...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Yes, now you've got it. Tempus Liquamine. You discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Modewell. Very good. But the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down. examining his youthful
Wait.
form.
So, Foul Harvest, when everything went tits up and he supposedly died, that's got to be when he went into Solomon, when he went young. Did that happen to our dad? Is he somewhere as well? Just as a child? We haven't seen any deer, children, but we'll be trapped somewhere. And the effects went a little too far for my taste. Unless he is actually dead, though. The bomb isn't, but... That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial,
Kerr
please.
presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present to you the eighth
Before
wonder
he
of
could
the...
finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about it.
Rollo casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a take.
Luca jiggled the vial mockingly.
Leave him. One of us has got to drink it, come on. Move another inch, and I smash it.
She held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine. Risk killing us all. I wouldn't say all us at the same time it came out alls. Killing alls. Or if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less leniency.
He pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
I give you my word. You hand it over now, none of you will be harmed.
A deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
I don't believe a word this little prick says. You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there's only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. Sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Mr. Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. Don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think, all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be a part of something great, but the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luca, so he is dead. Your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use the time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three keep post outside the door. We have a self-destruct button. I do. Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. Not sure she had another choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rollo, you just need some time. Rollo, it's over. We lost. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just, we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually, Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Time wounds all heals. Fucking hell. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Good point. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. Poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape. Well, I found something else. A note hidden in a full straw. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short. So he left behind a letter, with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Oh yeah, we don't know in this path yet, do we? Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. That was an accident. You've been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempus
The
Liquami.
color dropped from Luca's face.
She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realised that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. It cost him his life. It's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But she's alive. Where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion
At the door.
sounded from the hull.
We know Grandma's got some
Chapter
fucking
8.
explosives.
Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at
Brandishing her
vengeance against Lost
cane,
was truly
fucking hell.
gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
God damn. Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rollo. Hey, Mrs. Lucas Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh no, what did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
God, I ain't reading that speech again. Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on
Solomon
out.
pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
But stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that. She swapped it, didn't she? You fucking swapped it, the little bitch.
Mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little...
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
Poisoned? Malice? Oh, the whiskey. Whiskey from his office. Yep, dude had an unfinished glass on his desk. Figured his grow juice could use a little hair of the dog. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Go on, do something disgusting. Now that's what I call 80 poof whiskey. Damn, dude. Excuse
The
me.
crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage and into the distance. He was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luca began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was unexpected. Perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing.
Hold on. Let me just check there's nothing else. It's just there that we can have tweaked. Okay, I'm going to pop for a quick toilet break and then we'll carry on. I also think if I'm going to try and power through to the end of this, we've got to be somewhere like approaching the end. There's definitely more because you can see the above the bit that's flashing currently. Oh, you can't see it's the camera. So right here, there's a little bit of branch that doesn't connect to anything, and you can tell it carries on. So there's got to be more branches further up the tree that only this path connects to, whereas all the other paths, like that one there, it ends in a tree bit there and a tree bit there. Same on the left. Like there's nowhere for it to go. This one's got somewhere to go. But yeah, I'm going to pop for a quick toilet break and then we'll try the others. We'll try and power through, and I think we'll finish whenever I finish this today rather than go to the normal time. Just fill the time with Dead by Daylight, probably. I'm still probably going to play Dead by Daylight after the stream, but I might just brainlessly play some solo Q Survivor to get my grade up before reset. Thing is, I got every one killer with nurse matches. And I still don't know how I did that. Yeah, I'm going to pop for a quick toilet break. I won't be long. Yeah. Do a different song. Back in a minute. I won't be long. I'm going to wait till the end of this bit. Why do I have a load of pings? Oh, hello. Again with the cats. The kitten came up to say hi and then fucking ran off when I went to pick her up. He's here. You can never see him. He just looks like a shadow in the background, but you can kind of see his white neck tuft there. Sleep on his little blanket. Right. Let's go and try a different word here. So he tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
Let's go with that. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. How did ashes get into the vial? It was pretty easy to mess with the vial when it was behind my back. Oh, that's sneaky. But it's a bad habit anyway. Har always says bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. Huh? Hard to kick. Lack of reaction. Just like... Basically my reaction to 90% of what George says, let's be honest. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face.
Yeah. Go on, what happens to this one? Oh shit, we actually turned him into Ash. I had a feeling that wouldn't be the one that we want. The change would be the one that we want. Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit.
As
Look
the
it out.
last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed.
So what you're saying is, he turned into Ash, he floated off into the air, everyone just walked off. Like, okay, that was weird.
Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines, a new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future. The end. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way.
This is what I quite like about this. It's a lot of ends, a lot of the ends. You can at any point just not bother to go back. It kind of makes you want to go through and find out what actually is the truth. With a little change.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a
Like
little
coin?
change.
Like pocket change? Yeah, that's what I thought. Her unlucky penny. Forgot she had an unlucky penny. So she has a coin that she flips when she wants to make a decision, and so she'll go like this decision's heads, this decision's tails. Whatever result she gets, she goes with the other one. Did it a couple of times early on. I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. Is he just going to choke on it? What's that going to do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Or he just chokes on it.
His body and face.
Okay. Reversed it. He's now got younger again. Holy crap, he's a baby? Yeah, but he's still Sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. This is an innocent child. Look at the fucking face on that baby. Look at the actual face on that baby. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused
Eris
you.
awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we... Excuse me. Ugh, why is my throat so terrible lately? I think I'm going to have to... After this game, I think we're going to have to leave it for a while on games that require a lot of reading and talking. Because that seems to be what fucks me over every time. Every game that we have played where I have to read and talk at the same time, it fucks my throat up. We do what Valentines always do. What must be done. We'll hurry home and prepare a crib for father, young Sharper. That would be a great help. Thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave. Now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had, and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable.
We still don't technically in this path know that Grandma is Mother yet. It's Ma. I mean, that's technically correct. But yeah, like, we touched on the subject and then we got interrupted by the explosion, so we didn't actually learn that Grandma is Mother in this one.
The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy
What about
and
Rollo?
optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river.
Another reason that it bugs me
past
that they never write on the
neglected
on the
welcome
left
sign,
page.
and came to rest
Camera's
on a
blocking the
young
words.
boy sleeping at dawn.
I'm not moving it.
His mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Rollo, are you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute. Let me check these
Over
fucking
time,
doors yet.
Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back into her bedroom, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
Hang on, she's moved out. Is her bed still in here? She's moved back into her actual bedroom. We now know that she's Eleanor, not whatever Grandma's name was supposed to be. We do know. We just didn't see them talk about it. Mom, I'm ready to go now. You go on without me, I'll meet you there. Got a batch of jam to finish jarring. It's funny, I only started making jam as a way to send messages without anyone noticing. But now I enjoy it. I'd like to question where you're making the jam because there's no pots on that fucking stove. Wait, is the bait? Hang on. Is the basement still there? I mean, it'll still be there, but we can't move the cabinet out of the way. Actually, saying that, I don't think we learnt about the basement in this path. We go see Dad. Where the fuck's the... Excuse me? Where's Dad's tombstone? I know we found the real tombstone in the real town, but there should still be the fake one there. The fuck? I hear you and Rollo have big plans for that little treehouse. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity 1 Rollo, 1 Luca rule. So we decided to expand. But at least we got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Alona's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping it helps get me into the School of Agriculture up at State. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rollo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. Don't just mean grown, literally. This morning he was up and finished his chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, because it'll go to his head. And I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way. He's just too dang proud to tell you. Good lord. Hey Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't be better. I'm so grateful to Alona and Nellie for letting me help. The building's gone, there's trees there instead on the... to his shoulder. just wasn't built to be a mayor. Too much bureaucracy. I take it Heiress has taken over then. Gus, we finished cleaning up the sidewalks. What's
When
next?
Perennial Harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town. But some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Anyone with a knack for arts can help paint the new offices. You can count on us. It looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now this right here. This is something I can be proud of. That way goes to the treehouse. We're going to go everywhere but... The napping this morning. The most underrated part of... Oh, the building is there. But it's just further across than I thought it was. I thought it was gone. It looked like it had been replaced with a plot of trees. Most underrated part of a good nap is the view. And the view's getting greener every day. I see you decided on a name. Yep, we had to clear out all the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. Sorry? Slow and Dirty Harvest. Madams. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's still a lot of work to do and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. The motto is go slow and fix things. Amen to that. Can we go in? Oh, I want to see what you've done inside. Oh, I better not dilly-dally. You got to get to the treehouse. I literally just couldn't go back to the freaking flashback with Mother. I can still go back to this one. Are there any other things before we move along? Nope. Oh.
Luca gently good first.
I've already done this. Leave. Luca, get this. I managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, an honest to goodness, flip-flopping, swim-swamming fish. I don't think I've ever caught an actual fish here. It's at least 7 years since I caught one. Very specific time, because basically all the fish and birds and frickin' bugs and things disappeared when Sharper Valentine started faffing around with the fertilizer. I'd say it's a good omen. What do you do with the fish? Oh, I release it back into the pond. Hoping to catch it again tomorrow. What the fuck? A little higher. Little lower. Little higher. Excuse me. I'm telling you, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radio. Luca, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of antenna redesign. Fine, fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who, me? Ish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yup. He says yup a hell of a lot. It's weird. They'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. In with Becca at her house. In a minute. Anything I can talk about with? Sit there all day. Okay, now we can go this way. Maybe I can get... Can I go to the diner now? Is it open? It is!
Luca squinted at the fake memories of the...
Yeah. Give me the memories. I haven't been back since the first time we did it. Good afternoon, Mr. Dolive. Sorry, these allergies have been killing me. So for reference, this one is a flashback to when we helped Mom in the diner. We were supposedly helping waiter, but we actually made the food. using words and things. It's weird. I've been able to smell a thing all day. I almost sold Miss Hatch a gallon of spoiled milk this morning. Got anything to help clear out these darn sinuses? Whatever it takes, I just want to be able to smell again. To clear out the sinuses. I mean, chili, obviously. Want anything specific? Like, can it be anything? As long as it's hot, I guess. Chili. Chilies. Oh, that's supposed to be like thingy, isn't it? Okay, he's alright with the peppers, but he wants something that will wake up the senses. Fish, maybe? Not sure how dead fish would be a good thing, but... I call this one a cod for the common cold. It was the fish. Oh my, that's spicy. Stinky. Sorry, I'll try again. No, don't you see what this means? I can smell again. Looks like your father isn't the only doctor in the family. What do you want, madam? Hey, Miss Hatch, what can I get you? Oh, I'm not terribly hungry. Something snack-sized, if you could. Well, we know there was a tiny-ass frickin' burger. I call it the novella. Lovely. This just in. Last chance diner overrun by gremlins. I'm not a gremlin, I'm Luca.
Mr. Wilder adjusted his monocle jokingly.
Stand corrected. In that case, would you believe I have a craving for a burger? Come to the right place. Indeed, I'll have a nice juicy burger topped with onions. Here you go. I call it the Wilder. Know I love a good byline. Many thanks. If it isn't little Luca. How come you haven't been around the house lately? Well, your dad and I had a little disagreement is all. How's he doing? Has he mentioned me? Not really. He's been very busy lately. That question always bugs me with people. Like, did they mention me? Fuck off. Just fuck off. Sometimes he doesn't come home from work before bedtime. Was that so? Well, tell him I'm thinking of him. You seem sad. Nonsense. What can I get you for lunch? Fact of the matter is, I don't have much of an appetite right now. Uncle Nuncreed, you've got to eat. I'll make you something special that'll cheer you up. Let's go with the sweets. And the cactus. Why? Sorry, Luca, it seems I still can't muster much of an appetite. Hang on, I'll make something to cheer you up. I mean, the mustard's got to be it because it's a smiley fucking face, isn't it? Let's do that. I call it cheers looking at you, kid. One burger with a side of good vibes. Oh, Luca, you sweet boy.
Reached down and patted Luca's shoulder with an enormous hand.
You've got a lot of your daddy in you, don't you? Never say that ever again, you dirty old bastard. I guess so. Run along, I'll do my best to clean my plate. Listen well, child. I'm only going to say this once. I require a well-done burger. When I say well done, I mean it. I fear you aren't grasping my request. I want the burger charred beyond recognition. I want it bitter and black. And top it with the most expensive thing you have. Why would you fucking have caviar on a fucking burnt burger. Or a burger at all, for that matter, but, you know. May I present the row, row, row you burnt? Hardly believe it. You've done well. Mrs. Fratelli had caviar stashed back there. The woman is full of surprises. I mean, it's probably salmon roe, which is not even close to caviar level of expensive. You know. Very good, this will suffice. Have a coupon here for 1 free burger. What'll it be? I have a lot of mouths to feed. Give me the biggest burger you have. You must eat a lot, huh? You have no idea. Throw some lettuce on top. They call it the too much is never enough. You should keep them at bay. Thank you. Alrighty, looks like we've got everything we need. Let's get to feeding these folks. Oh, I already fed everyone. You made all the food yourself? What on earth did you put on the burgers? Just use what was lying around. Oh dear, that can't be good. At least one person did have sweets, and one person did have cactus on their burgers. Everyone's like, oh, that was fucking delicious. Need to have 12-year-olds come in and cook for us more often. You really are a remarkable boy, aren't you? Yep. There we go. Got the achievement for that one.
Mrs.
Hello, madam.
Fratelli glowed with a carefree smile.
Is that your suitcase? There's 2 weeks of unencumbered tranquility. Excuse me? Would you be so kind as to take my order? 2 weeks of sand, margaritas, and forgotten obligations. Excuse me. Love to place an order.
Mrs. Fratelli sighed with a zen-like calm.
Just as soon as the lunch rush ends. I'll be a feather on the wind. Going on vacation? For the first time in years. I've got you and your mom to thank. What's that? She didn't tell you yet? You two are going to fill in for me at the diner while I'm gone. Just like old times. It's fine. I'll wait. Hi, Dawn. I'm glad you swung by. More follow-up questions for your story? Nope, I got everything I need. Thanks again for that. I sent a draft of the story to a reporter in Capital City, and they offered me an internship. Of course they did. You're an amazing reporter. Don't know about all that. Story about a phony corporation that picked up an entire town of people, moved them to cover up a massive illegal mine shaft full of incredibly hazardous chemicals. Sort of writes itself if you think about it. She's not wrong. Just don't forget us when you become a fancy big city reporter. Capital City isn't that far away. I'm going to have to come back from time to time to check in, see what sort of new trouble you've gotten yourself into. Sorry to disappoint, but my adventuring days are over. Ah, we both know that's not true. What makes you say that? Call it a reporter's intuition. I can't be asked to talk to everyone, my throat's not happiest right now. We're going to Bex, weren't we? I'm sorry, Jeff's wild ride?
With perennial harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come one, come all. No one is too big. No one is too small. Those are a lie, sir. But Jeff's wild ride.
Maybe not completely unused.
Just one piece of candy. For the ride of your life. Who's next? There's something a little bit concerning about the old man receiving candy. For a wild ride. Guess what? Yesterday I saw a Anastus titius. Sorry? Is that the name of an actual bug? No, he's a bug person. Dynastus Titius. Oh my god, it actually is. It's an Eastern Hercules beetle. What the fuck? And that's good? It's great. I haven't spotted one of those in years. At this rate, Beacon Pines is going to become the bug capital of the county. Okay, so that's still blocked off to the warehouse. Cleaned up the spillage of the goo and got rid of the barrel that was there. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning, I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in. It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. Sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. Guess I decided this town is root-worthy. You're going to be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. You say that like that's a bad thing. Do you really want every year that you live in a place to be as disgustingly eventful as the fucking place has been so far? No. No. I think I'll manage. Hold on, Soph's raiding out. Wasn't she doing a long stream? Well, she did put in her Discord she was doing a 12-hour stream, but she's raiding out, so I'm guessing we need to break. Which means if this finishes soon, we might just end there, rather than raid out. I will be over at Strakers when he goes live, if he goes live later, though. And if Soph goes live again, I'll go over to Soph. Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. I think for the sake of, I could do with doing some housework before Tom gets back from work as well. I'll just end when we finish. My mom's prepared this tree especially for you. Didn't have to do that. It wasn't just that. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. You got me just a tree. Like, I know lady's going on a trip. Where's my trip? I want a tree. It should do okay in the cold of Old Beacon Pines. Ooh, yeah, it's to replace. That explains it. That's where the grave's gone. The grave is back where it's supposed to be, and we're going to replace the tree that they uprooted to bring to the fake town. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's a good gift. Excuse me. Wait, how do I get to Old Beacon Pines now?
The Valentine Mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Oh, Jeff's. It said something about Jeff, didn't it? Taking the wild ride. Although it said one piece of candy for it, didn't it? Ah, you got it. Now that's a good-looking tree. Being a special occasion and whatnot, it's right on the house. Thank you. We're just going to cut in front of all these little kids that want to go on the ride. You're going to want to hang on tight to that little tree. Yeah. It's been replaced in its correct location.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for.
The actual end.
Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it.
That sounds like you had no faith in me actually getting to the end of the game, to be honest.
But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. I'm just saying, if you planted that close to the grave, by the time it grows into a big tree, the grave's going to get uprooted. Might have wanted to space it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Back in a timely manner, as always, as we're almost finishing. Welcome back, John. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks for everything. Shucks, I only did what any other super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some alone time now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. I'm just twice the size as I was a week ago. Ma always says, the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. You don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yep. There's just one thing missing now that you're a part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh, God. That won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. Found the perfect way to start our summer. Thought this was the start of the summer. We skipped ahead to the next summer, because it started with the start of summer, didn't it? Because we were exploring because it was the start of summer when we found the warehouse. You've got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? How do you feel about being a grandma all of a sudden? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not the night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? What he looked like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more. Because his two favourite people planted it. You assume. I'm just saying. He's not there to confirm or deny. You assume that just because you were the wife and kid that you were his favourites. Now I'm just saying, there's definitely some days where the husband is not the fucking favourite. Let's be honest here. I'll give you two a moment. Just put the snow out of the way before you sat down. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modwell says that over the next few years this place should warm up. You won't have to be so cold for much longer. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in. Big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you you. You wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in. You wouldn't have been the same person anymore. You had to go. Yeah, so Dad and Nuncreed, the creepy guy, the store owner, were both offered to work for Sharper and do shit, but they both knew what that involved with the aging crap and whatnot, and the dad was not okay with it, so he confronted him and was killed for it, basically. I didn't mean you loved us any less. They were offered money for it, and he turned the money down as well in the process. Whereas Mr. Nuncreed went, money! That's all he heard. I might not visit you as much as I used to. I know you understand. Okay, I was like, is something else going to happen? And then it made me shit myself. That was a fucking good game. That was a fucking good game. The only thing that I wish was different with it is more optional stuff. Like every single, like there was one or two paths that you didn't have to take to go to the right one, but most of them were dead ends you had to go to get a new word to come back and go to the next one, and vice versa. Add a few extras just as possible, like just funny things, little bits here and there, that would make it perfect. Otherwise, that was such a fucking good game. Such a fucking good game. I'm now curious whether people that made this have made anything else. possibly add to the list if they have. That was bloody good. Developer hiding spot. Oh, they did a musical adventure game called Ephemerid. That one doesn't look like my cup of tea. But if it's by the same people, it's probably very fun. Although the developer on that is actually listed as someone different, so I'm guessing they just helped with, maybe. What about the publisher? What else do they publish? Tale Beyond, Citizen Sleeper, Kraken Academy. That one actually is really cool. I'll add that to my list as possible. I was leaving this to run in case there's anything post-credits. I don't think there will be, but you never know. That was a fucking good game. That was a fucking cute little game that I definitely do not regret playing at all. I'm glad I found the demo when I did, because if I just saw that on a list, like I hadn't never touched the demo and I just saw it on a list after it released, I probably wouldn't have touched it. Because the images on the Steam page are quite cutesy and whatnot, they don't really give the indication that it gets a bit interesting in the story, whereas the demo hints enough to drag you in. Which they did do. They did the demo fucking well. Like, it takes you up to just enough of a point, the story, to make you go, I need to know what the fuck's happening here. And there's a lot of games that do there's a lot of games that do demos, and the demos either spoil things that they shouldn't because it kind of ruins the game in the long term, go too far, or they just don't give any fucking info and then nothing to do with the actual game. The demo for this was perfect in terms of showing exactly what the game was, exactly how the game works. It takes you it's the actual game itself from the start, just enough of a point that it drags you into the story without spoiling anything. It was fucking good. That was good. We are going to end here. Can I skip this? No. Oh, never mind. It's got the end's coming, just in case there is anything. I don't think there will be. We're going to end there. I have other stuff to do. I'm not going to raid out because I've got to do various housework. Just confirm that nothing's appeared. I have housework to do, and I also need to go cook and a couple of other things. I haven't figured out the schedule for the next week because I forgot to ask Tom to remind me earlier as to what days he wants to do things. I think it's going to be a Wednesday to Sunday week instead of a Thursday to Sunday like we did this week. The week after next will be a Thursday to Sunday. So I'm out Wednesday. This week coming, I think, possibly Wednesday to Sunday. The only one that I know, the only streams that I know we're doing. Thursday will be Lethal Company. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm going to go through mods and expand on the mod list. Which, again, anyone that's got Lethal Company, you are welcome to join if you have Thunder Store or whatever the other mod thing is for it. I can send you the code to get the mods. And you can come and join. Friday will be DBD as usual. Whether it's Survivor or Killer depends on the day as to how much people have been fucking arseholes, as they have been recently. But yeah, that is us done for the day. Because I really need to go pee and do things. Hence, I'm leaning forward because I'm like crossing my legs. Because I really need to pee. So I'm going to find a song for us to finish on. And then I'm going to bugger off. I will sort out the schedule probably in the morning because Tom's not back until late today. So I probably won't be on the computer when he gets back. Do the schedule. I'll post it as soon as tomorrow. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I will see some of you later in the week to do other stuff, depending on what we end up doing. I think so. We've finished this. We've finished Mortuary Assistant. We'll do another Mortuary Assistant run at one of the days as well. Walking Dead next episode. DVD Friday. That thingy. We might start Spider-Man. Oh, and Bendy. We've still got Bendy as well. We might also start Spider-Man. I'm unsure. We've got fucking Tomb Raider coming next week after next. And then 2.5 weeks later after that, we've got fucking Final Fantasy. Spider-Man might take a back seat until Final Fantasy's finished. I'm not gonna. We'll find out. Go to the schedule as to whether I want to fit it in or not. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Have a good evening. I will see you later in the week. Bye.